Today's video is a quick recap of patch 14.12 and all the changes and updates to the tier list that we have so far. We had another round of buffs and nerfs to plenty of champions this week, as well as some changes to some items and further nerfs to First Strike. So let's get into it and start off with the top lane as usual. And in the S tier we have Camille, Darius, Fiora, Garen, Gragas, Jax, Kennen, Set, Skarner, Volibear and Zac. Skarner got another round of nerfs, which still wasn't enough to take him out of the S tier in both the top and the jungle. Strong bruisers like Camille, Darius, Fiora and Jax continue to dominate the top lane meta at pretty much every single rank. Aatrox's changes move him down out of the S tier and into the A tier, along with plenty of other fantastic alternative options, like Kayle, Malphite, Renekton and Poppy as great examples. Tryndamere does fall down to the A tier as well after his nerfs. Our low elo pick of the patch this week is Volibear. His Rod of Ages into Flicker's Blade into full tank build is just so damn strong, and for a champion that is pretty easy to play, it's obvious as to why he's been so successful at low ranks. When Volibear gets ahead, towers are no issue due to his ultimate, which means he can push that lead and dive often and easily without too much risk. If you do need some help with Volibear's builds and runes, then don't forget to head to our website and check out his champion page, where you can find all of this information with just a few clicks and import those best builds straight into your client. Our high elo pick of the patch this week is Jax, who to be honest has basically been the most consistent high elo top lane pick all year. He's the perfect champion to abuse if you really understand the game and the top lane, because he can really push leads in side lanes and duels and split push to win, but he also isn't too shabby at team fighting either, which just means there's always a way you can carry if you're in the lead. Our top lane pick to watch out for this week is Kennen, and he's been a really strong S tier pick for the last few patches since his buffs, and if he gets the right matchup and the right draft, he can be really hard to deal with. So if you aren't actually playing him yourself, don't forget about it. Moving into the jungle next then, and in the S tier we have Bel'Veth, Kha'Zix, Lilia, Nidalee, Shaco, Skarner, Taliyah, Viego and Volibear. Master Yi went from B to S last patch and now goes from S to B this patch. It seems he's proving to be a really difficult champion to balance so far this split. Rek'Sai also moves down from S to A after her nerfs this patch too. Bel'Veth bounces back up to the S tier this week, and Shaco remains one you should definitely be careful of, because right now he's back to his best and winning a ridiculous amount of games across every single rank. Our low elo pick of the patch in the jungle this week is Lilia, and I'm sure if you've been playing much League recently you already know just how strong she is. She packs some serious damage, and in combination with her ramping movement speed she can dodge everything that's thrown at her and dish out so much just by herself. Plus with her engage and CC with her ultimate, she's got a lot to offer. Our high elo pick to go for is Nidalee, who's really shining at higher ranks at the moment. If you know what you're doing in the jungle and you have the mechanics to pull her off consistently, there's not really too many better options to go for. She's got amazing burst damage, has great mobility and can really run away with games easily once she gets a lead. Finally, our jungler to watch out for this patch is Udyr. Yes, he is in the A tier, but his win rate recently has been a bit crazy, and if he was a bit more popular we'd be considering moving him up to the S tier. He clears insanely fast, has amazing objective control, gets super tanky and deals a lot of damage on his own. So keep an eye out for him, and if you do enjoy him, he's a great pocket pick to whip out. Into the mid lane next, and in the S tier we have Ahri, Akshan, Brand, Galio, Gragas, Lux, Sylas, Taliyah, Talon and Tristana. Naafiri makes a bit of a comeback this patch after her buffs and sees an impressive improvement to her win rate across the board, but still does lack that bit of popularity. Maybe a rework is on the cards. Talon, Vladimir and Yone all see some good improvements too after their respective buffs. Akali and Twisted Fate move down from S to A with their nerfs, but Akshan continues his super strong streak as his nerfs haven't been enough to bring him down just yet. Our low elo mid lane pick of the patch this week is Brand, and yes, he's still boasting a very impressive win rate here and just feels so easy to play and so difficult to play against, as he can harass easily with his W and E around minion waves and sit super far back while still controlling the lane at the same time. Our high elo pick of the patch this week is LeBlanc, who's just proving how strong she can be and how many lanes and how many games she can win with the right player behind her. Since the buffs to Luden's last patch, she's been much more contested and is just winning a lot of games at higher ranks at the moment. So if you know how to abuse her, go for it. Our one to watch out for in the mid lane is Tristana. She's S tier in both low and high elo and is just such a lane winning, turret destroying machine. So every time you get a favourable matchup for her, you can definitely lock her in and enjoy the free LP. Down to the bot lane next then, and the strongest S tier AD carries this patch so far are Ashe, Jinx, Kai'Sa, Karthus and Zeri. The static Shiv meta is back at higher ranks, with Kai'Sa and Zeri being two of the most popular and successful AD carries in the game. Ashe keeps her spot in the S tier too after her nerfs didn't really make enough impact. Corki's nerfs move him down to the B tier, and Neela's buffs didn't do enough to bring her up just yet. A tier picks like Jhin, Caitlyn and Lucian though are all still fantastic options in the right games. Our low elo pick of the patch in the bot lane is of course Jinx, who remains one of the best AD carries in the game as expected after no further nerfs. She is just a bit too strong at the moment, and as long as you don't fall seriously far behind early game and become irrelevant, you'll always end up scaling into the crazy resetting hypercarry machine that she was always meant to be. Our high elo pick here is Kai'Sa, who's seeing an absolutely astronomical amount of games played with an incredibly impressive win rate too. She can be picked into so many different drafts and with a variety of supports too, making her one of the most versatile and consistent carries in the game. A one to watch out for though this week is Ezreal, who's made a massive comeback this patch with the buffs to his Q and his ultimate, and of course the buffs to Zerelda's Grudge too. He's seen a huge increase in popularity already so far this patch and a very impressive boost to his win rate. He's now back to his iconic core of Trinity, Muramana and Zerelda's alongside Spear of Shojin and a defensive item to finish the job. We've got him in the A tier for low elo and the S tier for high elo. Finally, in the support S tier, we have Janna, Lulu, Nami, Pyke, Rell and Thresh. The support role is overall in a great spot right now, with such a huge range of picks to play across the board. With the obvious selection in the S tier, but plenty of great options in the A tier too, like Bard, Braum, Leona and Sona all being solid examples. Karma makes a return this week after her buffs, which brings her up to the A tier as we predicted. Yumi's buffs, unfortunately for some and fortunately for the many, didn't make too much of a difference though, and Blitzcrank moves down from S to A following his changes. Our low elo pick of the patch for support this week is going to be Nami, because when she's strong she just fits into any draft, any team comp and any bot lane so perfectly. She offers tons of buffs, boosts, utility and CC, and no matter what AD or AP carry you pair her with, she's always going to be useful. Our high elo pick here is Rell, who's simply just dominating and dumpstering so many lanes and comps with her relentless CC and engage. When Rell's in control, she is so hard to deal with because she can dive and punish lanes that are behind, and when it comes to team fights, she has some of the strongest initiation in the game. A one to watch out for in the support role is going to have to be Pyke, because although many players aren't that scary on him, the good Pyke one tricks are truly at their peak. He has the ability to not only stomp the bot lane but also carry the rest of the map too, with his crazy mobility and roaming power and amazing cleanup potential throughout games too. And that's going to bring us to the end of our patch 14.12 updated tier list video. Thank you guys as always for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. Good luck in your climb and take care.